Dear Rwandans and friends of Rwanda, we are delighted to be with you today in this celebration of the 27th anniversary of Rwanda Liberation Day. I'm Emile Mwepesi, Second Counselor at the High Commission of Rwanda to India, and I'm happy to moderate this important session. The program we have is detailed as follows. We start with the national anthem of India and the national anthem of Rwanda. After, we will follow the address by the High Commission of Rwanda to India, Ms. Mukangira Jacqueline. The address will be followed by Rwandan traditional song, and we will be privileged to hear the remarks by the Dean of African Heads of Missions in New Delhi and Ambassador of South Sudan, His Excellency Dr. Daniel Peter Otol. He will be followed by the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador of Eritrea, His Excellency Alem Tsehaye Woldemariam. After, we will have a video on investment promotion. And after that, we have prominent Indian investors in Rwanda, Mr. Rudra of Lakshmi Tea and Mr. Amit Chawla of Airtel Rwanda. They will give us their address of today, followed by Mr. Munish Gupta, President of the India-Rwanda Friendship Association. Then, we will listen to the young Rwandans studying in India and Bangladesh with their wonderful messages on this occasion. Today, of course, we are graced with a speech of our chief guest, Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Government of India. Of course, you won't be bored, as our whole celebration will be punctuated with Rwandan traditional music. So please, at this juncture, I kindly request you to rise in honor of the national anthems of our friendly countries.
Honorable Wi Muridharan, Minister of State for External Affairs of India, our chief guest, His Excellency Mr. Alem Woldemariam, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador of the State of Eritrea, His Excellency Dr. Daniel Peter Otol, Dean of the Africa Group and Ambassador of the Republic of South Sudan, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions and international organizations accredited to India, other members of the diplomatic corps here present, friends of Rwanda in India, members of the Rwandan community in India, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Namaskar. Muraho neza. I extend a warm welcome to all of you at this virtual celebration of 27th Rwanda's Liberation Day. It is an honor to have you with us on this important day for Rwanda. It is now a second and consecutive year we are celebrating virtually our Liberation Day due to the COVID-19 pandemic that has caused disruptions globally, keeping people distant to avoid the deadly infection. We therefore thank you all for gracing our celebration in this difficult and uncertain time. Honorable our chief guest, your presence with us today is an indication of a strong partnership between Rwanda and India. We are grateful for your precious time despite your busy schedule. To the excellencies, ambassadors, high commissioners, and other members of the diplomatic corps, we say thank you for your solidarity and friendship. Your attendance is a vibrant mark of fraternity. The High Commission of Rwanda in New Delhi has many friends in India and the entire jurisdiction. We take this time to recognize the bond between Rwanda and India, and our congratulations go to the newly approved India-Rwanda Friendship Association. We will be graced by a word from our friend, Mr. Monish Gupta, the current chairman of the association. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, today we celebrate 27 years of the liberation of Rwanda, Kwibohora 27, from the dark forces of the evil that committed the most atrocious genocide towards the end of the 20th century. Kwibohora 27 is an important milestone in Rwanda's history, and the theme of this year is Together We Prosper. Our sincere gratitude go to the brave soldiers, men and women of the then Rwandan Patriotic Army, RPA, today Rwanda Defense Forces, RDF, who liberated Rwanda and stopped the genocide against the Tutsi in my country. We honor those heroes of the liberation struggle. We pay special respect to many who made the ultimate sacrifice. The values that informed the liberation struggle remain relevant to Rwanda's journey to self-reliance and guide us as we build a dignified, stable, resilient, and prosperous nation. There is no doubt that the growing socio-economic transformation of Rwanda is rooted deep in the inclusive political dispensation that was thought and implemented by the current government of unity that contributed tremendously to the rise of Rwanda from its ashes. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, after 27 years of Rwanda's liberation from a dark era of our history, full of discriminatory politics and a genocide that decimated more than 1 million of innocent lives, Rwanda is now a country of hope, a country that has chosen to glorify the life of its citizens rather than digging a death hole for any portion of its population, as did the two previous regimes that ruled on Rwanda after the independence in 1962. The role of His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, who was then at the helm of the liberation struggle, has been more than significant in imagining and rebuilding a country with a long-term vision anchored on a reconciled citizenry. The unity of the people, good governance, and solid institutions. Indeed, the visionary leadership of His Excellency Paul Kagame has inspired the country and the people of Rwanda to be united, accountable, and to think big. The liberation of the people sought the liberation of minds by instituting a constitution that gives primacy to Rwandan spirit and Rwandan identity instead of the divisive and deadly so-called ethnicity, which was the political pivot of the two past republics. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, it has been demonstrated that the true independence comes with self-satisfaction of a nation. Rwandans understood well that a wealthy nation has all it takes to achieve a democratic and peaceful society. To that end, they nurture and maintain the right belief that hard work and discipline are the rock foundation of a cohesive and transformed country for the good of all its people. That is the driving force behind Rwanda's success story 27 years on. Today, despite the COVID-19 pandemic that is hitting badly the world, Rwanda is one of the countries that have ranked high in doing business and registering a rising curve of economic growth. Ranked among Africa's fastest growing economies, with the lowest debt ratio in the region, one of the least corrupt countries in Africa, and a stable B+ economy, Rwanda remains one of the easiest countries for one to do business in safety and security. Distinguished chief guest, Rwanda enjoys strategic relations with India and is proud to be a development partner of India. In fact, India has always stood beside Rwanda in its journey to rebuild and regain dignity right after the genocide against the Tutsi that brought Rwanda to its knees in 1994. Rwanda is one of the beneficiaries of the Indian concessional lines of credit, which have been substantially contributed to the well-being of Rwandans and brought tangible impact in the economic transformation of the country in the areas of infrastructure, energy, vocational training, connectivity, irrigation, defense and security, health and education. India has also contributed to the elevation of Rwanda's social development. We registered several instances of friendly gestures like donations of essential medicines to Rwanda by the government of India, especially the recent donation in March 2021 of COVID-19 vaccines, the historical donation of 200 cows to needy sections of the population in Rwanda by Sri Narendra Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, during his visit to Rwanda in 2017, and a number of grants. We are grateful for the Indian friendship and contribution to the development of Rwanda towards the attainment of true independence and liberation. The bond of friendship between our two peoples has been cemented by the bilateral air services agreement signed between the two countries. In February 2017, during his visit to Rwanda, the former Vice President of India, His Excellency Mohamed Hamid Ansari, visited Rwanda and signed the agreement, which was followed by the inauguration of Rwandair direct connection flights between Mumbai and Kigali. His Excellency, the Vice President, was reciprocating to the official visit to India in January 2017 by His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of Rwanda. His Excellency Paul Kagame has visited India 5 times, and the visits have had a big impact in the excellent relations between our two friendly countries. The direct flights of the Rwandan national carrier, Rwandair, between Mumbai and Kigali did bring tremendous impact on India-Africa connectivity, trade and investments, Rwandair serving more than 23 destinations across Africa. Honorable our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, the growing relations between India and Rwanda was marked by the establishment of the Indian mission in Kigali in 2018. The mission has proven to be instrumental for people-to-people relations, in addition to serving excellent diplomatic relations between the two countries. Today, as the world continues tirelessly to fight the COVID-19 pandemic and its negative impact on the country's economies, we remain assured that Rwanda-India partnerships will continue growing to even greater heights and keep our South-South cooperation resilient and result-oriented. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the celebration of Rwanda's Liberation Day means also an occasion to witness the recovered cultural identity, and during this virtual event, we shall have not only speeches, but also will be able to enjoy the Rwandan cultural songs and dances. I invite you to follow warmly our event from the comfort of your homes and offices, and wish heartfelt congratulations to all Rwandans, the leaders of Rwanda, the security forces of Rwanda, and finally, to all friends of Rwanda who have joined us today to celebrate this memorable day for my country. Thank you all for your kind attention. Daniavad, murakoze cyane.
Nyirahangeri, nyirahangendo we,
nyirahangeri yawe, turabaramutsa cyane.
Ngutasha babiri bahombi we,
bambukikirinda we, turabaramutsa cyane.
Kubambukikirihinda we,
abakobwa turarira, turabaramutsa cyane.
abakobwa bararira hora we,
abahungu turarikesha we, turabaramutsa cyane.
utashyurusha yahoya we,
utashurusha yanyana we,
izanyana z'umugondo we,
nawe naruhimba we, turabaramutsa cyane.
ngutashe nyirantagorama we,
umugoranyingo we, turabaramutsa cyane.
inyamanza inyamahanza we,
inyama ziraramba we, turabaramutsa cyane.
inyamanza irarahamba we,
irambira umwega we, turabaramutsa cyane.
inyamanza irasa nk'ingwe we,
igisa n'ingwe bugondo we, turabaramutsa cyane.
Honorable Chief Guest, Minister of State of External Affairs, Government of India, Excellency the Dean of Diplomatic Corps, Excellency High Commissioner of the Republic of Rwanda to India, Excellencies the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, diplomats and friends of Rwanda, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the African Group of Heads of Missions to India, and in my capacity as the Ambassador of the Republic of South Sudan to India, I would like to offer my cordial congratulations and best wishes to His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, and the government and the people of Rwanda, as Rwanda celebrates 59th year of independence and the 21st anniversary of Liberation Day. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the High Commissioner for organizing this event despite the challenges posed by the coronavirus-19 pandemic. Excellencies, today, Rwanda celebrates heroic bravery and enormous sacrifice of the then forces of Rwanda Patriotic Army, who paid the ultimate price to halt the genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda and install the liberty rights and dignity of the Rwanda people over the past 25 years. Rwanda has made tremendous progress. I commend President Kagame's visionary leadership, the energy of Rwandans to have signed significant transform Rwanda into a remarkable nation. Distinguished friends, since 1994, Rwanda's reconstruction journey speaks for itself. Rwanda is known as one of the world's safest countries and fastest growing economies, the least corrupt country, and gender equality champion. Furthermore, Rwanda has proven that national unity, reconciliation, and good governance are the key to the enabling peace, stability, and prosperity. This is important to all of us. We Africans feel very proud of Rwanda to have overcome its dark past and choose to build its better future. Excellency the High Commissioner, I wish all Rwandans a joyful celebration. Again, happy Independence and Liberation Day anniversaries. Thank you very much.
Invited guests, High Commissioner of the Republic of Rwanda, Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners present on this platform, diplomats, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me take the opportunity to congratulate the government and the people of Rwanda on this day as they celebrate the 27th Liberation Day celebration of the country. Your Excellency, High Commissioner, let me take this opportunity to congratulate you personally for hosting this event. As we are all aware, it is not possible to gather physically and celebrate as we used to do, but you still found the way to organize your event online. Invited guests, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, liberation is something Rwanda and my country Eritrea have in common, cherish and hold sacred, though from a different perspective and at different time. We, Eritrea, had our liberation in 1991 and Rwanda had its liberation in July 1994. I recall personally when I traveled to Rwanda in the aftermath of genocide, when my country opened to sharing whatever it had in terms of skills and resources with Rwanda to support it to rebuild from the scratch. I still keep fond memories of my stay in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, and the interactions with the leaders and many Rwanda friends then. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to see the tremendous progress Rwanda has made in just 27 years after liberation. I kept following up the progress since 1994, and it always gave me joy to learn how the country has been progressing. I commend the leadership and the people of Rwanda, the choice they made and pursued ever since to forego the history of bad politics, misguided policies and discrimination, and focused on rebuilding their country and Rwandans. Today, as we are aware, Rwanda is #1 in the world with the biggest number of women in the parliament, 61.3% of MPs are women. Rwanda also is ranked as one of the best countries for doing business and has also done a tremendous job in fighting corruption. This is a remarkable achievement which deserves to be applauded and praised. When President Kagame was the chairperson of the African Union 3 years ago, the continent had a taste of the leadership in Rwanda, and we all know the achievement of African Union made during Paul Kagame's chairmanship and his urge for a self-sustained Africa. One of the most remarkable achievement is the Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is now effective. As Africans, we are all proud of Rwanda's achievement, especially after liberation 27 years ago. Your Excellency, High Commissioner, I would like to inform you that we all share the joy of your country's liberation and progress. Let me again congratulate Your Excellency on this occasion of your liberation and wish you fruitful and successful in India. Thank you very much.
uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda n'ukuri kw'Imana mwe zunguru y'amarembo shenge ruragerwa uzazure u Rwanda rw'abanyarwanda n'ukuri kw'Imana mwe ruragerwa abahungu ruragerwa abakobwa we uzazure
Geographically located at the heart of Africa, Rwanda is a small country embracing a big vision. World Bank Business Report ranked Rwanda as the second easiest place to do business in Africa. Think of Rwanda as a partner in business. A friend who needs light. A high demand for solar energy system to enable an off-grid access to rural electrification, ensuring power supply in remote areas. A socializing friend, aspiring to become a cultural hub in tourism with more room for a world-class hospitality infrastructure. Rwanda is carving out its niche as a regional and international conference hub. A smart friend who believes in ICT service efficiency, innovation, and growth of talent. A productive friend ready to process and add value to locally produced foods, textiles, commodities, and acclaimed brands. A friend with an affordable home for the emerging middle class along with other public fittings. A friend who counts and grows. There is more room for money to flow and grow by filling the gaps in agriculture, SMEs, and real estate. A healthy friend who can qualify more practitioners from school, manufacture health products, and accommodate local patients in modern health facilities. A friend with knowledge. Rwanda needs to establish more technical and vocational education, ICT schools, and higher learning institutions. When it's time to invest, come to us. Get your business registered in 6 hours in a land that surely means business.
Best wishes for Liberation Day to my friends and family members and colleagues in Rwanda. Rwanda is a phenomenal country. I love visiting, and I was looking forward to being there for the Liberation Day this time. My special wishes to my good friend, Her Excellency Jacqueline Mukangira, and I hope that we will meet face to face soon. Rwanda as an investment destination is second to none. Lakshmi Tea and its associate companies have been very happy investing in the tea sector in Rwanda, developing both greenfield and expanding current tea estate production. Rwanda is a great country for investors, and the people of Rwanda are extremely productive, hardworking, honest, and loving. You will feel at home if you were to go there. I can't wait to get back there. And the people of India and Rwanda will always be a group of people who have a symbiotic relationship between India and East Africa, and also a shared cultural heritage. Thank you very much, and wish you a great Liberation Day once again.
Good afternoon. On this occasion of 27th anniversary of Liberation Day of Republic of Rwanda, 4th of July 2021, I am delighted to talk about how this country has fast developed into becoming a crowning jewel of Africa. Telecommunications in Rwanda has been a big game changer in simplifying the way of doing business and relating, as has been the case for majority sub-Saharan African countries. In Rwanda, the existence of a policy and regulatory framework and a clarity of what contributions are expected from telecommunication companies has ensured that mobile telephone technologies are affordable and accessible to all segments of the population. The internet is a needed public utility as much as water and electricity, was declared by no less than His Excellency President Paul Kagame at the Transform Africa Summit held in 2016 in Kigali. Tracking forward to about 3 years ago, the Rwanda's Utilities Regulatory Authority, RURA, approved the merger of two telecom operators, erstwhile Tigo and Airtel, a move that left many wondering why the regulator and government of Rwanda was reducing operators instead of attracting more. This move by RURA and Ministry of ICT changed dynamics in the industry, with the merged companies becoming one large entity, presenting better competition to the oldest operator. The ICT sector in Rwanda is increasingly occupying an important position in the country's endeavor to achieve the targets associated with the National Strategy for Transformation and Prosperity 2024 and the Vision 2050 goals. One of the key milestones on this journey has been the growth of the telecommunications industry, supported by increasing mobile phone penetration. In fact, mobile phone penetration has impressively increased by more than 80% to now 2020 across the whole country. ICT sector in Rwanda continues to be a catalyst for rapid and sustained economic growth, equitable social development and employment creation. Rwanda has made impressive progress in establishing telecommunications infrastructure and provision of telecom, which resulted in a sizable revenue generation since the businesses are well established. Rwanda continues to be one of the fastest growing African countries in ICT, and there are several avenues of growth for the ICT sector, from African countries in e-commerce, in e-services, mobile technologies, application development and automation. I've personally experienced the right thought process, elevated aspirations coupled with favorable regulatory environment and a stable economic forecast, and hence we are on our way to becoming an ICT hub for the region. The government clearly recognizes that a robust ICT industry can create wealth, job and entrepreneurs. Every country faces different development challenges. Nevertheless, Rwanda's ambitious and complex reform program may offer lessons for others seeking to reform through private sector development. The government has established structures for building a foundation for private sector development and coordination government-wide reform efforts. In addition, it has created a well-defined long-term strategy which is reform-oriented, that informs all of the country's short-term development goals. I personally feel the government works to meeting the needs of entrepreneurs by streamlining regulatory processes involved in starting, operating and closing a business. Beyond undertaking legal and administrative reforms, the government has invested in training for professionals, including lawyers and judges, to ensure proper administration of the reforms. Recognizing the benefits of a diverse knowledge base, Rwanda has also imported technical expertise from other countries like India to replicate good practices and build capacity. Moreover, the government has involved the private sector in the reform process and maintain an open line of communication to keep entrepreneurs, civil society and other stakeholders apprised of developments. All these efforts are clearly showing. And I feel there are some potent reasons why anybody should consider Rwanda for increased success. Doing business is a lot easier. Rwanda is among the top 3 nations in Africa for ease of doing business, following Mauritius and South Africa. However, it will probably take the trophy for registering any business. That holds true for many partners, vendors and even suppliers who are connected with us. The issuing of certification for construction or manufacturing takes just 2 or 3 working days and you are ready to go. There is no minimum amount required to invest in the country, and the Rwanda Development Board is a one-stop entity committed to support both business owners and investors. Effective public enterprises and civil servants is the second important factor for doing business in Rwanda. Rwanda's public sector is amazingly well organized and efficient. That is crucial in cutting time and energy when getting our businesses off the ground or growing it. A clear agenda coupled with a young, effective and ambitious workforce in leadership positions, largely in their 30s. I truly admit that this is a rare, albeit increasing sign in Africa. You meet the Director General of a line ministry, the head of an investment promotion or a Rwandan business delegation traveling abroad. They are so very swift and professional in their approach. Third point, I would say, overly ambitious vision to boost development. The pace is felt across industry sectors, and both public and private stakeholders in Rwanda are under pressure to deliver. You will feel the quest of progress and efficiency everywhere you go. Rwanda has also developed a fully serviced economic trade zone for foreign investors. The fourth point I would feel is huge local market demand existing in key sectors. The government and the country has a dynamic consumer base, and there are efforts to develop Rwanda into a medium income country, which means that Rwandan consumers would have increased spending power. The country may be relatively small right now, but the demand in certain sectors far outweighs local supply, and that has prompted government to seek investors like us to fill the gap. Telecom is definitely one of them. Greater opportunities and huge demand currently exist in our sector. The fifth, I would say, is great connectivity. Rwanda has one of the fastest internet connections, which allows you to remain effective in your communication. In fact, the Rwandan government has decided to make internet available throughout the country, and you will get numerous free wireless spots in public spaces as part of this plan. We are trying to consistently make that a possibility, which is a privilege for us at Airtel Rwanda. Sixth, I would feel economic slowdown, but Rwanda is growing fast. Recently, we heard a lot about the economic slowdown that is affecting growth in Africa and across the globe, given the COVID restrictions and ensuring that people are not allowed to move very often. Some African countries are feeling the heat. Rwanda, in the meanwhile, has been identified by the World Bank as one of the fastest growing economies alongside Ethiopia, Ivory Coast and the DRC. While the world worries about an economic slowdown, Rwanda continues to march forward and is growing at about 9 to 10%. Apart from that, I would also feel there's a strong political will to utilize ICT as a pillar of development, strong and consistent national ICT policies, premier national ICT national infrastructure, strong ICT related institutions like RISA, MyTech, RURA, which is a regulator, strong commitment from ICT sector and community, harmonizing ICT legislations across the region. And also, I would say, supporting one area network. In a bid to reduce the cost of roaming, Rwanda recently joined its counterparts in Kenya and Uganda to embrace one area network to further facilitate the ease of doing business across the region. And last but not the least, driving Rwanda towards becoming a cashless economy. The sector has been created for supporting government efforts to transform Rwanda into a cashless economy. Through mobile money platforms, sector players continue to support digital financial services through innovation and technology. I feel it's been a privilege to be working here, and we hope that we will be able to invest much more and drive the success story of Rwanda. Thank you so much.
Haru
Good afternoon. I'm Munish Gupta, President of the India-Rwanda Friendship Association. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate His Excellency, President Paul Kagame, and the people of Republic of Rwanda on the occasion of the 27th Liberation Day. To mark this occasion, I am happy to announce that the India-Rwanda Friendship Association is now a duly registered trust and operational from India in New Delhi. Bilateral relations between India and Rwanda have scaled new heights due to a unique chemistry between President Kagame and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India and Rwanda have both endured the challenges of COVID-19. The emphasis on socio-economic impact development has helped both nations mitigate what could have otherwise been a devastating catastrophe. Both countries have also played an important regional and international role to promote cooperation and collaboration versus conflict and competition. This is especially critical during COVID-19 times. Rwanda and India are also focusing on the Sustainable Development Goals agenda. Progressive steps are being taken to expand healthcare infrastructure, promote digital transformation, food security, solar energy, education, and skill development. As an advisor, I would like to see the India Rwanda Innovation Growth Program on science, technology, and innovation collaboration continue to its next phase. People of India and Rwanda have much in common, as both have risen from the biggest and worst of odds. Let us foster enhanced engagement between our cultures, our heritage, our businesses for shared prosperity and happiness. Murakoze, Dhanyavad.
My name is Munezero Fiona and I'm a student in India. I'm doing mechanical engineering in Maradi University. The liberation of Rwanda in 1994 by then Rwanda Patriotic Army, led by His Excellency Paul Kagame, gave us as a youth of Rwanda a country that looks ahead and beyond for the better of our future and next generations. We are proud of Rwanda that thinks big and regain its dignity globally. Our leaders today, you have demonstrated that however deep people can sink down in the abyss of agony, like Rwanda was engulfed by the worst genocide in 1994, it's always good governance and selfless leadership that can heal a wounded nation. Thank you, our dear President Paul Kagame. Thank you, our armed forces. Happy Liberation Day to you all.
Muraho neza. Nitwa Bizimana Ishimwe Hosio, ndi umunyarwandakazi wiga mu gihugu cy'Ubuhinde. Banyarwandakazi, bayobozi bakuru b'igihugu cyacu dukunda, ngabo z'u Rwanda, by'umwihariko n'abashinzwe umutekano bose, mbifurije umunsi mwiza wo kwibohora ku nshuro ya 27. Kwibohora k'u Rwanda bitwibutsa ko igihugu cyacu cyaciye amacakubiri mu Banyarwanda, kikimakaza kurengera ubuzima kugira ngo abaturarwanda babeho neza nta bwoba bwo gupfa. Ejo cyangwa ejo bundi nkuko byahoze kuri Repubulika ya mbere n'iya kabiri zabibye amacakubiri yatugejeje kuri Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi. Mu rwego rwo kwimakaza ubuzima, turashimira leta yacu yakuyeho igihano cy'urupfu kugira ngo umunyarwanda yumve ibyiza byo kubaho no kuramba atishwe na leta yakamurengeye. Umunsi mwiza wo kwibohora. Murakoze.
Hello everyone, dear Rwandans and friends of Rwanda all over the world. I wish you a happy Liberation Day. My name is Yoel Mujisha, a Rwandan student at Marad University, India, and I study Bachelor of Commerce. For us, as the Rwandan youth, we are proud of our President, His Excellency Paul Kagame, and his team who took part in the liberation of our country and gave us such wonderful praise to call our motherland free from any discrimination. You were young like us today, but you did not back off when it came to expose your lives for a better Rwanda. To the Rwandan leadership, we thank you for your political orientation that banished sectarian identity and established Rwanda. Our Rwandan identity, which supersedes all so-called ethnic lines that colonialists used to divide Rwandans, our economic growth has surprised many, and we appreciate the way the country's wealth is distributed from up downwards to the underprivileged citizens. Particularly for us who are in foreign countries, we are happy for our country's proactive and friendly diplomacy. It gives us pleasure and dignity to be called Rwandans. To our leaders, be assured we will not let you down. We will follow your good examples in building the Rwanda we want. Happy Liberation Day, Rwanda. Thank you.
Muraho. I am Menegite Registration, a member of the Rwandan community abroad in Bangladesh. The liberation of Rwanda has enabled us, the youth, to take Rwanda smart passports like me and travel all over the world, learn about new ideas, and go back to our beautiful motherland, Rwanda, in the transformational journey of our country. To our liberators and the government of unity, thank you for the achievements, for the beautiful country you are building for us to enjoy. We don't take it for granted. Happy Liberation Day.
Namaskaram. At the outset, let me convey my warm greetings and best wishes on behalf of the Government of India to the government and the people of Rwanda as Rwanda marks 27th Liberation Day on 4th July. Let me also congratulate Rwanda for its 59th Independence Day, which was observed on July 1st. Over the last 27 years, Rwanda has been able to forge a strong national identity by embarking on a path of prosperity. Today, Rwanda is recognized as a country with a promising future. Under the leadership of the Honorable President Paul Kagame, Rwanda has seen a transformation. Rwanda is amongst the fastest growing economies in the world. It's ranked among the top 50 in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business ranking, making it an attractive destination for investors. In its developmental journey, Rwanda will always find India as a trustworthy and reliable partner. Our two countries have always had a cordial relationship, which has strengthened over time. The visit of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to Rwanda in July 2018 was historic and provided further boost to bilateral relationship between the two countries. I am pleased to note that India's development assistance, both grants and lines of credit, to Rwanda has been benefiting the people of Rwanda. These projects are in several areas, including solar electrification, hydroelectric project, vocational training, connectivity and irrigation. Over the years, Indian companies have invested in a big way in Rwanda. Around 3,000 Indians and people of Indian origin have made Rwanda their second home. In Rwanda, they have found a welcoming and warm government and society. I am glad to note that Indian community in Rwanda is actively contributing to the Rwandan economy. Every year, a large number of Rwandans travel to India for medical treatment. India is a go-to destination for many Rwandan students who wish to pursue quality higher education. I am glad to note that Honorable President Paul Kagame has visited India 5 times. We were looking forward to welcoming him in April 2021 for a state visit and as chief guest of the Raisina Dialogue. Unfortunately, due to COVID situation, the visit could not materialize. Nevertheless, we were honored by his participation in the Raisina Dialogue through virtual platform. India has shown its solidarity with Rwanda in its fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and President Paul Kagame discussed issues and challenges related to the pandemic. I am happy to note that India has supplied 290,000 doses of made in India COVID-19 vaccines to Rwanda. India was also looking forward to participating in the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, or the CHOGM, which was scheduled to take place in Kigali in June this year. However, due to COVID-19 pandemic, it had to be postponed again. We acknowledge the hard work put in by Rwanda for the CHOGM and wish Rwanda a very successful CHOGM in Kigali in future. Let me again wish our Rwandan friends a happy Liberation Day with the assurance of India's continued support and good wishes for the progress and prosperity of Rwanda. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Government of India, Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, dear Rwandans and friends of Rwanda. At the end of this celebration, we extend our sincere gratitude to all of you who have been with us virtually. Our thanks go especially to the chief guest, who has delivered a good message reflecting the existing excellent relations between India and Rwanda. To the Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, diplomats, We are ever grateful for your unwavering support and friendship to our mission. The words of both Deans of Diplomatic Corps and of the African Heads of Missions are the reflection of the great image you have for Rwanda. Thank you for that. Finally, our fraternal thanks go to our Rwandan compatriots and the Friends of Rwanda. You are always with us in every Rwanda's event, and we really appreciated your warm presence. Thank you again, all of you who have been following. Happy Liberation Day.